A few days ago, I made a mistake where it's the evening and my mom's doing something that annoyed me. And instead of just letting things go, of letting it slide, of realizing like it's not a big deal, it's not affecting me, it's not a problem, I could just leave it and let be. I choose to get mad, I choose to get reactive, and I initiate like an argument. As a result, like we're going back and forth, voices are raised, we're both getting mad. She gives up after a while, and I just feel furious, and I go up to my room. I go to bed that night just feeling terrible, of realizing that I chose to act like this. I chose to act like somebody I didn't want to be, of making this mistake that felt so bad in the moment that it persists into the next day. Right? I have some errands to do later down the day where I have to go buy a birthday present for my sister's friend, and I go with my family. And because of this, because of the mistake, I haven't cleared it up. I haven't taken responsibility for it. I still feel mad. It comes to a point where halfway through the time we're at Toys R Us, by the way, I just ask for the car keys and say, I'm going to sit in the car. You guys get here when you're done. And I just feel angry while I'm doing it. Like I'm in the car, I'm feeling frustrated and furious. It comes down to the fact that I realized I was choosing to act like this. I was choosing to act like somebody I didn't want to be. I was choosing to relinquish the control in my own hands, my own ability to be the person I could have been, and saying that it was somebody else's fault, and saying that I just lost control, of making excuses, because it made me realize like that's not the person I want to be. That's not how I want to act. It's not who I want to emulate or be a role model for. And realizing that, taking that first step for realizations, coming back home, relaxing, just processing my emotions, I realized like I had to say sorry to my mom. I had to go apologize. I had to say like I was wrong because when I acknowledged my mistake, when I went up and actually apologized to my mom, it felt like there was a weight lifted off my chest. It felt like I was finally freed from this thing that was holding me back within my mind. And I learned that I make mistakes all the time. Like I'm learning this even more now on YouTube because I make these videos, right? These videos are just about me talking about my weaknesses, talking about where I've messed up. Like I made a video on NoFap, relapsed, right? I made a video on, oh, I messed up in my hustle, my routine, yada, yada, yada. Just realizing this and then making a video on it. I am human. I make mistakes. Everybody does. The thing that defines you as a person, though, is how you respond to your mistakes, of how you're going to take accountability, responsibility to make sure it doesn't happen again, but also fix what was wrong, fix what went wrong in the first place. For me, realizing that and then just taking the responsibility to do so, I felt better. It felt good because it was in my hands. I was aligning myself with the person I want to be, the person I'm striving to become. And mistakes are inevitable. Mistakes are tests in a sense because everybody's going to mess up, right? So they're always going to get challenged some way, somehow. The question is, how are you going to respond to that, right? You talk to someone, the conversation goes poorly, they brush you off and they don't want to talk to you. How do you respond to that mistake? You think, oh, well, big whoop, I'm done now. Like, I'm not going to talk to anybody else because it went so badly. Or do you take the mistake as a valuable learning lesson, as a tool for growth? Because that's the most powerful way to learn from your mistake, right? Oh, that person, the conversation didn't go well with them. You know what? I'm going to get up, I'm going to talk to somebody else, but I'm not going to make that one mistake I did in that conversation. Coming back to my mom, what I've learned from my mistake is that there's no point being angry, right? The anger that I'm doing, it's my problem, it's my choice. And if I choose to just appreciate, to love, to accept my family for who they are, that would be so much more beneficial to changing them than being hostile and critical of them could ever hope to like achieve, right? That my parents are my parents and they may not be perfect. They definitely are not perfect. But I can be grateful for what they do. I can be grateful for what they have done for me. And I can show them love. I can show my parents love. I can show them appreciation because I made that mistake. I made that mistake of just making them out to be villains within my life, of acting the victim, and it felt terrible. If I played my part and was the best person I possibly could be, that's good enough for me. I've learned from my mistake. And so, for yourself, like what mistakes are you making? What are you not taking responsibility for? Right? Because mistakes are the valuable learning opportunities within your life. If you don't acknowledge your mistakes, if you don't take responsibility for them, you're kind of halting your growth as an individual. If you can't acknowledge your mistakes, take responsibility for them, accountability, all that, you can't grow. You're basically a finished product, and that's not true for anybody in the world. We're all works in progress. We all have things we're working on, trying to strive to become, to improve, to do. And mistakes are our little zigzag guiding points to tell us, oh, you did this wrong. Reorient. Oh, you did that wrong. Reorient until you get to your end goal of who you want to be. So that's all I have to say for this video. In recording this video, I made a lot of mistakes, right? I've been sitting here for like an hour just trying to record one video till I realized like the video I was talking about, it wasn't about being a reactive person, but it was rather talking about my mistakes. And so it may seem like I wasted an hour, but I learned that, oh shoot, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm not always right. Sometimes I'm not the person, or I'm not as certain as I should be, or uncertain as I should be. I lost my tangent. I lost my train of thought at the end, but that's okay. Made a mistake, right? And so that's all I want to say in this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like this content. Peace.